Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Phriends Club Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Charlotte.
And my name is Fizz. Hello.
Hi, Fizz. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I was going to say it's been a while, but it hasn't actually this time. It's been exactly a week because we're organised and we scheduled a recording.
Yes, we're on a roll, and hopefully we will continue being on a roll.
Hopefully. We've got a very good system going at the moment. It's currently 8:30 in the morning for me before I go to work.
I think this is really working because I think in the morning we're just, I don't know, it's less unhinged, but it's also like we're on it.
I mean, it's not morning for you, is it not? Like the middle of the afternoon?
It is the middle of the afternoon. But it's not like, so before it used to be like 1 a.m. for me.
Crazy time to record.
Yeah. So it's like, so I think there were more chances of tangents and stuff because I could stay up as long as I wanted. But
yeah, I mean, we can still have tangents now, but they're more controlled.
Yes, exactly. So some stuff has been happening.
Some stuff has happened. Again, it's only been a week, but we did it on like the busiest downloadable week in the world. Tit happened. The Tit live stream. Were you watching? Back home.
So
were you watching?
Yeah. I said that I wouldn't be, and then I woke up around like 3 a.m. because context, it's Ramadan, so we wake up 3 a.m. And I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was like, maybe I'll tune in. So I opened a stream, and I watched the second half of the show.
A legal stream, Fizz, that you paid for.
Yes, of course. With hard cash.
You gave Phil the cash personally. You got the money out of your bank account. You went to his house and you mailed it to him. You mailed him the cash.
Yes, exactly. I have the address, so I did that. But yeah, I got the second half of the show from Phil's monologue, The Sociopath, that we talked about it.
We did talk about that bit. You can go and listen to the episode. I did promo it a little bit yesterday, but if you're missing Tit and you want more Tit in your life, go back and have a listen to our Tit live stream. Not Tit live stream, our Tit episode. If you've watched the live stream since, go back and listen to our episode. Or if you have listened and you had to skip all the spoilers, but you've now seen the show, go back and have another listen. It's a good episode. It's 2 hours of us yapping.
It's our longest one, and I think it's worth it. I think you get a lot of our thoughts and feelings. Just like all of them are all there. So yeah, I did watch it, and I got the after party, which I felt like I was on like something watching that. I was like, what is going on?
That's just the average Dan and Phil experience, let's be honest.
Let's be real, it's true. But you did watch it, and in fact you got a little shout out / call out, didn't you?
Maybe I did. Surprise, guys, I'm Charlotte and I run the Fan Outfits account. I think I have mentioned that on here before.
Yes, I think I think that is a...
But we're keeping it low key. Yeah, I did. So for anyone that didn't see, I don't think we would have talked about it in the last episode. For every single one of their tours, I have always documented and archived all the outfits that they wear to every single meet and greet because I have nothing better to do with my spare time, and that's what I enjoy to do. And for the Tit one, I thank you to my lovely friend, A Happy D&P on Tumblr. They suggested displaying the results in a fun photo card style. So I documented all the outfits they wear, how many times that they wore each outfit, and displayed it in a fun photo card way. And I tagged Dan and Phil in it when I posted it, like in the middle of February. Maybe sort of hoping that they would include it in the Tit live stream because Phil doomed last year in the Doomed live stream. So I was kind of like, it would make sense, if they did it again, but I'm not holding my hopes up. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for myself and the reactions of the fandom.
Yeah, because it's like good archiving.
It is.
Yeah.
And yeah, they included it in the pre-show part of the live stream, which was really fun. I think I blacked out for about 20 minutes when
I can imagine, yeah.
I think I think Dan initially, the first thing he said was like the words fashion review. And I was like, oh shit. Oh, here we go. I know what this is.
This is happening, yeah.
This is happening.
I'm muting myself and sleep. Sorry. Okay. Continue. We'll keep it in.
We'll keep that. But yeah, so they talked about it. Phil called me out because I get the prices wrong sometimes, and I'm like, "Why are you stalking my account anyway? If you're that bothered about it, just send me a DM with the correct prices that you paid. I just copied the prices from the website.
Give us a receipt.
Exactly. You show me your bank statements of what you paid for the item, and I will happily inform the nation."
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think it's very obvious that they do. I think people don't realize that they are just like us and like discounts.
Yeah. Who wouldn't like a discount? Even if you were like the richest person in the world. I think some rich people would still pay full price, but I think especially for them, because they've come from like a very sort of working middle class background. Like you're always going to have that mentality. I don't think that's ever going to change. Even if you have all the money in the world, if you can buy something discounted, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, or get it for free.
Or get it for free. Yeah,
100% sure. Like a lot of stuff, like brands send it to them, which is fair enough.
So yeah, that was fun. That was great. But yeah, the rest of the live stream was completely unhinged. My specific notes: Phil dyed his hair blue. What do you think of the blue?
I loved it. I love it with this, with the hair that he has now. It's great.
I also loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's very relevant.
Really suits it.
To today's episode.
It is very relevant, weirdly enough, to today's episode. Another thing that I also made a note of that I did message you about as well, that was weirdly relevant. So Dan and Phil were chatting in the live stream on Sunday, so sending messages and things like that. And I think I missed the context because I had like 5 million tabs open to like check everything during the live stream. Dan started singing the Lizard song from what pin-off is that from, Fizz? Is it Pin-Off 6? The video that we reacted to and talked about last week?
It's literally, they are in our walls. It's kind of bad right now.
It is. That's awful. Like, of all the songs he could have sung, I mean, I don't know if there was, I think there was a lizard in the live stream because you could like put
in the best things. Yeah.
So I think someone had a lizard for context. I think maybe that's why he started singing the lizard song. But even so, please, sir, stop copying us.
Do you think that we're just like, because they listen to us, it's kind
that's
of
what it is.
It's in their minds.
They listen to our podcast. That's exactly what they do. And they're like, right, what ideas are they going to do, and which ideas can we steal from them?
Exactly. Speaking of ideas that they stole from us, today's episode is our first episode or first video of 2015. If you want to get into
Happy 2015, guys! Happy 2015!
Yay! It's truly like the golden era of content, or the beginning of it, I think.
I would absolutely agree with that. I think as well because for both of us, I suppose, this is the year that we properly joined the fandom. So I think everything just feels to me so much more nostalgic, so much more special, and there's just so much more of like them wrapped up in everything because I was in this fandom space with like friends, like I met you, other people. I was talking about their videos more because I made a fan Twitter account, so I had this dedicated space to talk about them with people. And I think so much, like being able to immerse yourself so much in a fandom, just for me anyway, makes the enjoyment of everything so much better. I know some people like to lurk and can still get lots of enjoyment out of it, but for me, that like community aspect of it and having that like immersion in it all is just so fun. I love it.
Yeah, same. I love it too. At this point, because I did like we like to go back and look at our own tweets and stuff. I couldn't find reactions to this, so again, I think I was just watching this really silently, or they posted it while I was asleep and I had to go to school. This is probably what happened, and I had to watch it like in a rush because there's no reactions to it. But I'm sure you have some.
I did find my reactions. So I hadn't, my fan Twitter account was still non-existent at this point, but I did find my reaction, and I will be honest, it was actually just keyboard smashes. It was lots of like, fuck, oh my god, and
so valid.
Just general screaming.
Understandable, because what a video.
I think the only coherent thought I had was this one, which was, I feel very distressed.
Valid.
And then underneath, so I did comment on this as well later on in the episode, or I think towards the end, I just made a note of this other tweet that I had. I put my comment was, that video was so touchy-feely, Jesus fucking Christ, contain yourselves. And I'm like, wow.
If only
if only I knew. I thought that this video was touchy-feely. That's crazy.
That's what it's in my notes somewhere. I said, there's a quote somewhere about like the screenshots in this video, and I was like, it gets worse. It definitely gets worse.
Honestly.
But yeah, so in case you didn't see the title, we are discussing Dan and Phil punk edits in real life, which is the most 2015 thing
honestly
in the world.
I feel like I've just been jolted back in time to 2015.
So this video is not that long. It's about like 7-ish minutes, but it feels a million years long to me. It was uploaded on January 24th, 2015. Like,
yes, that is correct.
Late at night, because it says 25th on my computer, but I know it was the 24th.
Yeah.
On Amazing Phil. And it's the first joint video of the year. Chronologically, the last thing that they did was Festive Diddle, so we're on a high, and we're starting the next year also on a high. Yeah.
So I thought I'd put not necessarily a fanny historian hat, maybe just like a general internet historian hat. I thought I'd do a little bit of research. Where did punk edits come from? And I couldn't find any sort of point of origin, but I think it was just the culture online at the time of, oh, punk edits, these are fun. And there were punk edit blogs, there were punk edit Twitter accounts, like just dedicated to punkifying celebrities.
Yes, I think it was 2014 that it, like, because we just started the year, so it was 2014. So it was punk edits, flower crowns, soft grunge, that sort of
stuff. The whole like pastel punk era was thriving. Pastel punk fics were all the rage. Are you even a true fanny if you haven't read a Dan and Phil pastel punk AU fic?
It's true. I think that's the test of like what level of a fan you are. Like, have you
honestly
have you read? I think that's also. I think. Whoa! I just have brain blast. I think that's where like tattoo artists, flower shop, AUs come from.
Yeah, that would have stemmed from that as well.
I think. Yeah.
Crazy. So yeah, it sort of started on Tumblr online. Of course, it started on Tumblr. Every single celebrity that you can think of has been punkified. When I was doing some research, there were like punk edits of Barack Obama. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, sure, why not? And then, so Phil did credit them in the video as well, but I think the Punk Edits IRL started with Joey Graceffa and Connor Franta, who did a video each on their own channels, punkifying each person. I think that's where it started. And obviously Dan and Phil saw the trend, which is...
They give credit.
Yeah, and they do give credit to them in the video. And I think it's just really interesting as well, because Dan and Phil, I don't think were ever one to really hop on like YouTube trends and challenges
Until then.
until then, which is
Yeah.
very interesting that this started in 2015, the year that they were announcing a book and a tour. So I wonder if that had any sort of relation to them doing these more like challengey videos.
Ooh, I don't know. I have no idea if it was like conscious like that. I just know
Yeah,
that they did more of them, and I think that really contributed to their popularity because they were playing the game in a way.
yeah, exactly. Which, if
Mm.
they're playing the game because they want to sell more books, sell more tickets to their show. Not that they didn't already have like a huge thriving fan base, but
But
I think
there was a boom, right? 2015 is like a
that
real.
yeah, the real sort of big YouTuber boom, I think, of people like doing books, people going on tour, people doing events,
Mm,
um, collab culture, I suppose, like,
I guess, yeah.
and
You're
everything like
right. You're
that.
right.
We're sort
Hmm.
of hitting the big boom of this. I know we sort of had an earlier boom like 2012, but I think this is like another
It's part two.
resurgence. Yeah, part two.
Yeah. And I think it's the biggest one. I think this is peak, and then by introverts, they've kind of plateaued,
Yes, absolutely agree.
settled. Yeah, yeah. I had this thought, I didn't write it down, but I'm glad we actually discussed that because
Yeah.
it's true. Like, if you look back on it, 2015, 2016, I think 2016 is like proper, like, they are everywhere, but 2015 is where it really starts. And I think you're right. I think it might have been like a conscious thing. I think they were just trying to save up for a house, and they were like, let's just
And
do
you know
all
what,
the work.
that's so valid of them. Yeah, buy that house. Get that mortgage, guys.
You know what's funny? So I look back at my tweets. I quoted it on my account, but I was being such a hater because they were posting something on the gaming channel, and I was like, I just hope it's not sponsored. Because hating sponsored content was such a thing back in the day. But I was just
Yeah,
like,
and I think we
they
spoke about that possibly during the Oreo lake race video that we did.
yes,
The
yes.
shameful video that weirdly Dan mentions in the tit, which is so
Yes,
bizarre. I'm
I
like,
screamed. I heard it. I was like, oh my god, we're talking about that.
like so crazy. But yeah, I think we talked about that in that video, or possibly other ones. But
Hmm.
hating sponsored content was such a huge thing. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe that it's another ad. And I think we definitely did talk about this because I mentioned
Yes.
that it felt like there was some sort of superiority with Dan and Phil that I felt anyway, because they hardly ever did sponsored content. And I was like, they earn enough money anyway that they don't need to do spawn videos. Whereas
Meanwhile,
lots of other,
they had like dual incomes. They were like
literally,
BBC. Yeah.
whereas like obviously there were lots of other YouTubers that I did watch at the time that was like, oh, another spawn video, poor you.
Oh my god.
And it's so stupid because like there should be no shame around it. And like, I mean, Dan and Phil literally do like spawn videos all the time now on the gaming channel, and I
Yes,
think
I
that
think it.
they've worked them out to do them in a way that is fun and entertaining. But it's just so funny. I'm like, yeah, cool. You have to earn money somehow. Why not do a
Yeah,
spawn if you can get something out of it as well, and we can get something out of it? Cool,
exactly.
go for it.
Yeah, they were just trying to pay rent in London and again save for a house. So go then. Anyway,
Go
so
them. Speaking of them trying to save for a house, Dan and Phil
whoa.
were doing some other things in 2015 before we get into the
Oh.
video.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay.
So I suppose the biggest thing that I didn't even realise was like at this point in their careers, like looking back on it now, Dan and Phil were in Big Hero 6.
Hmm. Crazy. Phil had just done a video announcing
Yes,
that they had cameos.
like in my head, this was so much later on in the year. Like this was maybe like, or even 2016. Like I can't believe that this was sort of pre-tatting off.
Ooh, that's funny to me because this is like very like 2015 to me. It's significant. Also, like Big Hero 6 is in my letterbox top 4. So,
Oh, it's one of my favourite Disney films as well. It's in my top
yeah.
3 Disney films.
Taste. We both have it.
Yeah, we do both have taste. Incredible.
So, yes, so that was one of the big things that had happened
Which is
already.
crazy. Male Technician 1 and Male Technician 2.
Always iconic, like, oh my god.
I remember going to the cinema to see it with one of my friends who was like my sort of only Dan and Phil friend at the time, and like we planned to hang out and go to the cinema because of like Dan and Phil being in it. It was crazy. Like they literally say like 2 lines, but I remember being like, "Oh my god, it's them!" And then I think,
Did you stay for the end where their names came up?
I don't know if I did actually. I don't have any pictures of it. I probably would have taken a picture of it if I had, but
Yeah,
maybe I missed it.
yeah.
Um,
Dan
and
did.
then
He
I remember,
posted it. It's on
yeah,
his grid. Yeah.
and then I remember going again as well, because I was like, well, I just like the film. I think it's really good. I'm like, I want to hear Dan and Phil in the cinema.
I think I watched it like I didn't even have the UK version, but I liked the movie so much that I watched it like 4 times in the cinema.
It's such a good
Um,
film.
it's so good. So yeah, that was one of the big things. What was the other one? Looking
So the
back.
other one I made a note of is Welcome Emo Goose and Crossy Road.
Oh yes! Oh yeah! That was
You
in the
remember
other video. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Emo Goose? Welcome Emo Goose. Crazy.
To
What
the
a
dance
time.
galore. What a
Donna,
time!
what happened to Emo Goose? Where is she now? I think that she would be great friends with the Golden Pig and the Feel.
And the feel. I agree. Add that to the family, the PH family.
The family.
Um, it's so funny because Crossroad is such a huge game. Like I, as a K-pop fan, listen to idols talk about Crossroad in like old content, and I'm like, did you play with the emo goose? Like, do you
Maybe.
know the what kind of crossover is this? Um, and we were just talking about the not emo, but Crossy Road in the last video. So within that time, like most of Diddle and now,
Yeah.
emo goose has happened. Wow.
Wow. So much. Crazy. Right, shall we get into discussing the video?
Oh yeah. Oh god. Let's go. Yeah. 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 We haven't even
I
started.
mean, sorry, 20 minutes in. Why has so much happened?
Like I said, 2015. There's so much. Um,
Yeah, watch all of our episodes
my
now, just
first.
be like 2 hours longer.
I know. It's also again like we have so much context. My first note is that they look so 2015. Like I can't explain it.
No, yeah, I say that. My
Yeah.
first note in comparison to that was literally I pressed play on the video last night when I was watching it, and I instantly said, "Who are these people?"
Wow. That's true. That's true. They look very like whoa. I think it's because we spent like 5 hours watching current and film. So it's kind of
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, who's this person with straight hair? Why does Phil have a fringe?"
what are these t-shirts we haven't seen in so long? Like basic
Honestly,
t-shirts. They didn't put any effort in their outfits before.
they really didn't.
Mm, then there's no introduction to Dan in this video. Like there's no
There is.
convoluted.
There isn't a convoluted way, but Phil does say the words. Also, I'm joined by Dan, by the way, and I was like, "Okay, cool,
Cool.
surprise." Phil,
Who
Phil
else?
doing a video with Dan. What a novel concept.
Oh my god. So yeah, they introduce the video, immediately go they don't like mess around, they're just like, let's look at edits now. Let's just look at them, let's talk about them, let's start doing it. Um
That Dan Punk edit that they show of him with the like red quiff brought back so many
mhm.
memories. I haven't looked at that picture in like 10 years.
Yeah, who is that? That's a baby. And he's Flamo, which he's so Phil. When you said that, I was like,
I
you are so Phil.
I just took a drink when you said Flamo and nearly spat it out. Flamo. What's wrong with Phil? What is his mind? Let me investigate it, please. What things are going on in there?
um so
And then
unexpected, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
someone needs to inspect that brain. We start off the video as well then with a classic Dan yap, all about the ethics of punk edits, because what is a video if Dan is in it and he isn't yapping about something?
Yes, I wrote that it's very dance on fire, but it's also
Yes.
something he might say today, but then he he'd like sort of laugh it off and be like, anyway, but he doesn't hear. But I think it's funny that he did all of this and then starts off being like, I can already contribute to this video by having piercings. So
Yeah.
technically he's not appropriating much at all.
No. My note about Dan's earring was Dan earring sad face, 1000 sad faces. I love it.
Oh,
His earring is so special to me.
same. When he got the hoop and it was like a moment.
When he got the hoop. I'm so glad he has the hoop. I hope he keeps the hoop forever.
Same. Yeah. And then oh my god. Immediately, like
who is this child screaming? Being tortured in your house?
It's not, you know what's funny? It's not even in my house. It's the house behind mine.
How loud is this child?
I know, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Pause. We need to talk about the next thing and it's important, so I will be dealing with this. Hold on.
Okay, that's fine. She's back.
Ugh, I am back. Hi.
Fizz killed the child. That's what happened. That is a joke. Please do not come for Fizz.
I'm not a child murderer.
Definitely not. At all.
Exactly what someone would say after killing a child. No. So, oh my god. So the next quote, immediately, I think Phil said something about like, oh, I wanted a piercing at one point. And he goes on this tangent about, oh, he wanted gauges.
Phil with the fake gauges. I'm looking, I'm analysing, and I'm just thinking about things.
Same.
Lots of things. If he was to get gauges now, I'd support that. I'd support the vision.
Same. I would support many piercing decisions. Just saying. No, but then in response to Phil saying that, Dan says, I think your personality is too adorable for it. And
explosions! Fanny's found dead in the streets.
And I'm being so serious when I tell you my timeline when I woke up, and there was no like for you thing, right? We didn't have a separate thing. So it was all chronological. So if you scroll down, it was just that quote over and over. And even in the comments, if you look through the comments, everyone was so gagged by it. It was kind of like, whoa, what? What did you just say?
Absolute insanity. Like the shockwaves that Dan saying that sent like across the fandom.
Across the world.
Across the world.
I told you the shift, we're on the other side of it.
We are, and it's just crazy, like, looking back. The thing is, even if he said something like that now, I'd probably still be as shocked because I think it's such a endearing and sort of personal thing to say, especially coming from him.
Yeah. It's very like out of character for the time, and even now, like
absolutely.
You said. It's very Angel Bean prequel.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what Angel Bean is?
What did you say? Sorry?
I said, do you remember what Angel Bean is?
Oh, Angel Bean. Yeah, I thought you said something else. And I was like, yeah, no, I remember that. No, Angel Bean.
Yes,
Phil or small Angel Bean. But yeah, literally like insanity that he would say that. And we just had to listen to him say it. And that line was used in fics, in edits. You couldn't escape it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I do love about the fandom. Like, if as soon as they say something like that is just so like life-shattering, you can't escape it for like the next month. It's everywhere. It's used in everything.
Yeah, we really are Roombas. I think that is that's so accurate. Like, we're just like, yes.
They drop a little crumb and we're like, my crumb, give it to me now. I need it.
And then it's in every text, every edit, like you said. Like, it's taken so wildly out of context because it's such a silly moment. or like a nothing moment in the context of everything, and then you hear it and it's so significant in an edit. It's so funny to me.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Anyway, moving on. Dan put some piercings in. My comments are, Dan looks so good with the septum. He also looks so good with the snakebite piercings. Maybe
Yes.
I'm a little bit subjective, but I think he looks great with all the piercings.
I made a comment on one of the later ones, which was the eyebrow one, but I do like the snake bites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He looks great with all the piercings.
yeah. My next note was, I think Dan said something like, "Oh, I remember seeing cool-looking emo guys on MySpace," and was like, I want to be cool like them." And it's so funny to that description is so funny to me. Cool-looking emo guys on MySpace. Like, I know what you are.
Okay. You sure the
Okay.
website was MySpace, Dan? You didn't get it mixed up with another website that Phil nearly got employed by?
Possibly FOMO, FEMO. Rhymes with? Rhymes with FOMO,
It
FEMO.
could rhyme with that, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. So one comment that I did make about this video, I think it was around this moment because I made the comment here, is, again, you mentioned it in the previous episode that like they're so like children's TV presenter-y, and I think that like there's such the vibes in this video, it's so like presenter-y, Dan and Phil. Like this
Ooh.
is their YouTube personas. Like I was watching it and I was like, the man in this video is so amazing Phil coded. Like this is amazing Phil. This is Dan is not
Yes.
on fire. And
Yeah.
again, I think because we've just watched them do like all the tit live stream stuff, but it's just such a shift seeing them now, where I think now we are seeing Dan and Phil, whereas back then all this joint content was so like corporate. That's not really the right word, but you know what I mean. Like
It's
it's so they're like, oh, I'm in the office now. I'm gonna put like my office mask on, and because I'm at
yes.
work.
Yeah. I think what contributes to that, because I noted it another time in a different context, but I think it's the looking at the camera every other minute. Whereas now they
Yeah.
kind of don't do that.
Yes.
They just look at each other. It's very annoying.
And I suppose as well, like this was all so new to them at the time, like doing this joint content, doing videos like this. So it's them, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose, just figuring out how to do this YouTube thing.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Mm,
Lots to think about.
lots to think about. This
Such
is
as
finalysis.
it is finalysis.
Fin, fina. I don't
with
know.
we're discussing
I know.
videos.
No,
We'll stop there. No more. We won't do any more,
no
guys. We're
more.
sorry.
Sorry.
Um, Speaking of things that look sick, we weren't doing that. That was the worst segue I've ever done. What do you think about Phil with the dragon tattoo on his neck, Fizz?
I, can I say something?
You can.
I I don't like it.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's a bit much.
I think the placement of it is weird,
Yes. Yeah, I think that's what I mean. Yeah. But
but it looks great.
it looks, I think he suits it, but I like, yeah, like you said, I think the placement is a bit weird, and it's too what's the word, like, I think something more delicate would have looked nice,
Because
even
he's
if it wasn't.
a precious baby angel.
Exactly. Even if it was a dragon, I think like something else would have looked
Yeah.
nicer. I don't think he suits like the gang member, whatever aesthetic he was going for.
No. And yet
Mm.
Punk Phil is a popular AU.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
If we're doing punk pastel AUs, it's always Dan Pastel and Phil's the punk who smokes and ride motorbikes.
Oh god, it's true.
And contrary to your reaction, Dan's reaction is so sweet, and he literally looks at it in a gasping, and he says, "That's amazing."
Yeah. I mean, it's a very Dan response to anything Phil does. Phil breathes and he's like, oh my god, that's amazing. How do you do that?
Wow. Call him out, Fizz. Drag him through the mud.
Phil Trash number one. He needs to
Yeah,
own it.
he really does. And he does. Um, they then, obviously, they put the dragon tattoo on. And then Phil says that he thinks he needs a cool name.
And he says Philgan. No, he says
Philgan.
dragon first.
He says dragon first, and then Dan is like, oh, that's disappointing. I thought you'd make like a fun pun. So he does it again and calls himself Philgan, which,
Which
awful.
is awful. But also, you know that in 2025, he would try to make Phil say a slur. He wouldn't say it. He'd be like, "Oh, what did he say?" In
Oh,
fact,
yeah,
they've
no.
already done it. They've already done it for like Dragon City.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure as well that they have a dragon in Dragon City called Philgan.
No. Oh, like an
That they
original Dragon City.
No, that they named one of the dragons that they got for their island. They named it Philgan. Maybe I'm misremembering. So if someone wants to correct me, please do. But I'm pretty sure that they named a dragon Philgan. Or maybe I've got
I
other
don't
memories
doubt
of
it.
Philgan.
I don't doubt it. It's a very popular username. Like a lot of people have
Mm,
have URLs and Twitter usernames that are filled in.
yeah. My other note about this was, is this the predecessor to the fan dragon?
It is.
This is where it was came from.
This is where it was came from. You're right. Um, but his whole theme was pretty good. I like the consistency with Phil's stuff.
Yes, the dragons, the dragon consistency.
Yeah, like his sleeve, I think, is dragons.
It is.
I took a note here because Dan says the phrase shotgun, the whatever, like twice, and it's like, oh, so this is the Dan phrase of the day, I guess. Like it's his what can I say of this video.
He loves a catchphrase.
He does. He sticks to things.
We then move on to them dyeing each other's hair. Crazy. I've never seen Phil have his hair dyed blue before.
Never, like the first time he's ever done that.
I mean, it is the first time in this video, which is
In
great.
this video.
I was watching it and I immediately messaged Fizz. I was like, "Oh my god, they're dyeing Phil's hair blue. What is going on? Have
What
we
is
jumped
going
back in? Have we like jumped forward in time? Why are we've just dyed Phil's hair blue? He's dyeing his hair blue. Then clearly he loves the blue.
clearly? And also, so when I watched the live stream and they were doing it, they did it in the exact same way, like Dan sprayed it in his hand that they do in this video.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so like when I watched it again, I was in bed watching it on my phone, so I couldn't click off and message you. But I was thinking, I was like, oh my god, we're about to do the punk edits video, and they're doing the exact same thing. But it looks so much better because his hair is
Yeah, it does.
bleached now,
You can
so
see
you
the
can
blue
actually see it.
better.
Yeah, and it
But it's like, oh
yeah
wow, these are the same people, the exact same people, just 10 years difference. Almost
yeah.
exactly 10 years difference with like a couple of
Oh
months in it, which is terrifying.
yeah, and also Dan obviously famously dyed his hair red, like twice.
Yeah, he looks great with the red. I really like it.
Same. I didn't realize it. His I know his hair is like brown; it's not black. But I didn't realize that it is lighter than Phil's until
Hmm.
that moment. I was like, oh yeah, you can see it so much better than the blue.
Yeah. No, I love the red hair. I think it looked great on him.
Yeah, same. Um, a couple of things like before the hair dye, just like quick quotes that I really liked is
Yes.
one when they're doing the tattoos on the neck. Crazy. One was dancing. This video is gonna have a lot of strange screenshots for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Which, like, I
Which
was
like
looking at the bit where he said that, and it's just like Phil's got his hand on his neck, and I'm like, there's nothing weird about this at all. But maybe I've just been desensitized because of the things that I have seen.
With your own eyes, like
With my own eyes.
like did itself. I would say that top has weirder screenshots than this video. Like
Yeah.
it gets worse immediately.
But I'm like, babe, this is so tame. Like, Phil just has his hand on your neck. If I could tell, like, 2015 me that in 2025, I would be watching Phil mounting Dan and ball gagging him, and that would be a screenshot that I would see. Like, mind blown.
Yeah. And then one was when he had the hand on his like the front of his like throat. He said, "I can feel your heartbeat."
Yes, I
Again,
noted that down as well.
one of those quotes that like have been taken out of context, but it's a very silly moment where he's just like boop boop, and then he pauses and he goes boop, and it makes Dan laugh. It's so cute. And I think and then they find the choker, and Dan says, "Girls' neck accessories." Like, girl, again, I know what you are. Stop it.
Why couldn't he just say the word necklace? He just forgot the word for necklace. Like, he could have said necklace or choker.
It's like, yes, you're doing such a good job at being heterosexual. Good for you.
He's trying so hard.
You're trying so hard.
Another thing that they try really hard at is the eyeliner.
Oh,
It's so
God.
bad. My God, it's
So bad.
awful. It looks like they've just sort of scribbled on their eyes.
Yeah. Also, I don't understand why they can't get like a mirror and do it for themselves. It's like the cat. I
No.
mean, the cat whisker thing, I understand. I mean, I don't, but I've
They
accepted
need
it.
those intricate rituals to touch other men, or whatever the hell that post is. You know the one I mean.
Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. So I guess I do understand it, but it's so bad. They're so
So,
bad
so
at
bad.
it. Also, it's foreshadowing for a future video that they're gonna do.
It's, yeah. That's coming up very soon.
Very
Well,
soon.
soon-ish.
Well, ish.
And then we're getting towards the end of the video. Another line quote that I did make a note of was towards the, and I think it was after they've done the end screen bit. Both of their hands are bright blue because of the blue hair dye that they put in Phil's hair. And Dan makes the comment, "You look like you've been doing something inappropriate to Papa Smurf."
Soft launch.
Soft launch of the gay. We see you, Dan and Phil. We know what you are.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, but yeah, it ends with that, and that's the video.
That's the video. Woo! I really enjoyed rewatching this. Again, I think I mentioned in the previous episode, I don't even remember the last time I watched this, but it was got to be at least like 10 years ago.
Yeah, like the first time we watched it, I think.
Literally the first time that I watched it, most likely.
Wow.
Shall we conclude with some outfit reviews?
Let's do it, Charlotte.
So the outfits that they wear aren't great. Dan just wears a black t-shirt, boring box standard. I can't even I don't even have the heart to rate it because it's so boring. And again, Phil's t-shirt is awful as well. It's got like this weird like lion tiger graphic on it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's
so
so
I thought,
flimsy.
maybe instead we could rate their punk personas.
Ooh, okay, that's fun. Okay, let's do it.
So, whose punk persona do you prefer? Who do you think looks better?
That's so hard. Who looks better? I think second blue dye, I think Phil's looks better. But as soon as he did that, like the second one, it went downhill. Like it was a bad idea.
No, I agree.
So I like Dan's more.
I do like Dan's more as well. I think because I think he suits it more.
Yeah,
Which
I don't know
think
what
is
it is.
Yeah, which I think is weird because I think in my head like Phil should suit it more because he's got the black hair. I know they dyed it blue, but I feel like Phil's sort of features, because he's more pointy, are more punky. Whereas Dan is soft and round. He shouldn't look punky.
Yeah, he's done a good job at presenting that way somehow.
Yeah.
It's what he wanted, so fair enough. But yeah, I think Dan's looks better.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments to this podcast episode, send us a message, reply to the posts. Whose do you think look better? Are we wrong? Maybe we'll do a poll, actually.
I was about to say.
We'll put the photo up and we will do a poll and
There's
you
a
can vote.
selfie. There's a selfie. Yeah.
There is a selfie. We'll get some other pictures as well. Whose punk persona do you think looks better? And we'll see who the real winner is.
Let's do it. And now let's do a video ranking.
Let's do a video ranking.
A video rating, sorry.
Video rating, yeah. Can you imagine? We ranked every single joint video.
Oh my god. A tier ranking or at the end, like series finale. That will be our last episode.
Last ever episode, every single joint video they've ever done. We rank it. That would be a 4-hour long video.
Maybe we'll have like professional. Maybe we'll have a studio by then.
Maybe. What would be your top one, Fizz?
I don't know. We haven't even scratched.
You haven't got to your favorite yet?
No, we haven't scratched the surface of joint content yet. I feel
crazy.
Like.
No, we haven't. Anyway, video ratings. Fizz. How many? I didn't think. Oh, how many Filgans out of 10 would you rate this video?
I would give it 9 Filgans out of 10. I think it's great.
That's a good rating.
Thank you. I think it's really, really good and very rewatchable, even though I haven't rewatched it recently. I think I used to a lot because it felt very familiar to me. So yeah, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah. Charlotte.
Yes.
How many Filgans out of 10 are you giving this video?
I think I'm going to go an 8 out of 10. So 1 less than you.
That's still generous. Like that's still...
So again, I really loved it. Very much enjoyed after having not seen it for like 10 years. But yeah, a fun video, a good entertaining time for all involved.
Highly recommend. Yeah, highly recommend. Watch it.
Yeah. So that comes to the end of the episode. There are a couple of things that I realised that we didn't discuss when we were discussing Dan and Phil current updates.
Oh.
That we forgot about.
Because that was so, like, top of mind.
Exactly. So we can mention them now, and then we can end the episode quickly and move on.
Okay. Yeah.
Dan and Phil are getting married, and then the gaming channel is being rebranded.
Oh, yes, that's true. Putting a ring on it and whatnot.
They're putting a ring on it. They're committing.
Oh, God. That's so scary. Imagine telling anyone at any point in time that
honestly,
those are real things.
Like, crazy. I hate them both so much for saying the words that they did.
Yeah. And, like, no beating around the bush about it. They're just like, yeah, this is happening. Whoa.
I'm very excited for this Dan and Phil Games rebrand. Again, I think they said they don't have the fully formed ideas yet. I feel like they maybe have more ideas than they were letting on. But
yeah,
I'm very excited to see what this new era will bring.
Bring? Yeah. That could be... It's just more joint content. Does that mean it's going to be in our episodes at some point? Because I don't count gaming channel videos, because that's like a channel of videos, right? But
yeah.
But this? Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll have to see. I mean, it's probably going to be a long time before we get there.
Yeah.
We've got another 10 years of... We've got 10 years of content to discuss. Oh my god, when you say it like that. I mean, not fully 10 years, because there was a big old hiatus in the middle of that, but...
Yeah, oh, thank God for that. Like, we'll have...
That's at least 4 years taken off.
Yeah, so we still have, like, 6-ish years. Many, many years. It's okay.
Yeah. And I will say, I think the joint content sort of started to peter off anyway a little bit, like 2017, 2018. Like, there's only a handful. Yeah,
they were really focusing on solo content at the time. Yeah. And then gaming channel was for joint stuff.
Yeah. Phew, thank God. Can you imagine?
Thank God.
We've got enough to be getting on with.
Yeah. So that's the video.
That's how we're ending this episode. Dan and Phil, if you haven't watched the Tit live stream or been online, Dan and Phil are getting married. Yeah. They're putting a ring on it and they're committing. And I'm not going to provide any context.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll catch them announcing it officially before we record an episode, because what happens is we record an episode and then they do the thing and then we are delayed. So hopefully
if they're listening to our podcast and keeping up with us, then they will be kind and announce it before we record.
Yes. Thank you in advance, Daniel, if you're listening.
And thank you to everybody else for listening to this episode today. We hope you enjoyed it. Go back and have a listen. And not a listen, go back and have a watch of the Punk Edits video. It's a good one. Would recommend.
Also, our next episode, which will hopefully also come out soon.
Hopefully.
Is a pretty fun, chill episode. I debated putting it on the list, but we are going to do it. It's the Not Milk Challenge.
The Not Milk Challenge.
A prequel to many such hits like Dan Force's Phil to Have Soup and others. This is the OG.
Is there a cheese one as well? Or is that oh no, this one, isn't it? The cheese. There's cheese in this video.
There's just milk in this video. But there is a cheese one.
Oh, there is a separate cheese one.
Oh. There's a separate cheese one.
Yeah, I thought that there was. So no actual Dan face in this video. Not that I remember anyway, but lots of Dan voice.
Yes, so it is joint content because
it is joint content.
Done this video alone. That's our criteria.
Yeah, and you can't convince us otherwise.
It's our show.
It's our podcast. Anyway, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.